Hello everyone. Uh, Today I went ahead and installed a crankshaft in the block. I made sure when I was installing these these does match. So that's what I did. Okay, and I'm going to do one more thing. I forgot to install these. I actually did install it. I removed it because I couldn't find the washers. So I'm gonna put it back since crankshaft is installed. So I made sure these timing marks matches each other before when I was installing. Instead of removing the sprocket from the camshaft, I thought like it's a good idea just to install this way when I'm putting my crankshaft in the block. I did torque all these 6 bolts. The specs I received, or I was told by my machinist for this engine, was between 100 and 105 for these main bearings. So I torque it to 102 foot-pound, and I also so those bearings were very simple to install. This one, this one, this one. And if you notice, one thing I made sure is I looked at my previous video when I was assembling. I looked at it. This pointer was pointing this way, this pointer was pointing this way, and this was, you cannot reverse it. But these caps, I believe you can reverse it. You can install it different way. But since I took the pictures, I looked at it, so they are facing this way. That's done. All torqued to the spec. Here, when I was installing the rear main bearing cap, a couple of things I did is, one thing is I put a silicone base like this one, ultra black Permatex, and it is for 500 Fahrenheit. It can resist and good for oil. So what I did, the mating sides of this main bearing cap and the engine block, I put very thin material of this silicone seal. After installing the rubber seal I received with the gasket kit, those 2 black half pieces, circular pieces, I put it one in the main bearing, rear main bearing and block, so they can connect, and that's one thing. But if you notice, these one, to fill these spaces between this cap and the engine block, I did receive those filler seals in the kit. If you notice, before I installing, I actually lightly fill these slots with this same silicone, and then I push it down all the way, so it has a good amount but not too much, so it won't go all the way. It will resist going all the way. But I installed this one and it went all the way inside this slot. But on this side, if you notice, this much is left. It didn't go, so I'm not sure why. It may be maybe the shape or something, but it didn't go. And since I already put the silicone, I didn't want to take it out. That's the risk I'm taking here. But same time, I'm going to show you one thing, how much gap if you see this much gap you have, and if you pay attention you can see the green stuff from here, this side, same thing, but since I put the silicone, is squeezing out a little bit, I think, or maybe because of this, no, I can still see it. But Anyway, there is still a gap between both metal pieces, block and the cap. So I think it's always a good idea to overdo with the sealing material. So this is what I did. I fill these slots from outside with the same silicone, assuming is gonna help. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, this is something very iffy design, I think. But it's common, so it's not unusual. So, but since this is my first time, so I think I have to live with it. Anyway, this is good. Everything went okay. I filled these holes. Let me rotate it back this way with my oiler. Let me show you how I did. I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it this way. So I will poke here, and so if it's going to fill, then it's going to come out from the other hole. And same thing I'm going to do from here. This one. I believe it's going to drain somewhere. It's not going to stick, but these two holes will be filled. Anyway, one more thing before I forget. I was under the impression in rear main there are two slots for a rubber seal and a rope seal. However, my machine says there is no need for rope seal in the second wider slot. Only the rubber seal goes in the outer slot this way. So I did install the rubber seal but did not install the rope seal. The reason he gave me, because of these two holes, if you see this one, this is to drain out the accumulated oil inside the cap. Otherwise, the reason he gave me is if I install the rope seal in it, it will block the flow and it will overheat the bearing. And in another YouTube video, I saw both were installed. And the other reason my machinist gave me is basically these kits are universal. They send parts which may not be applicable for your model, and you don't have to install everything whatever comes in the kit. Makes sense, but since I was using that YouTube video, Easy Garage, I believe, yeah, I really want to mention him because that's where I learned from, and I got a lot of help from there. So anyway, so I did not install any rope seal, but I did bought it separately because it was removed from my original kit, came from machinist. I think he purposely removed because he doesn't want me to install. That's the reason. So I did just talk to him, and he again iterated the same thing. Also, the rubber seal lip is this way. The reason is, it's logical. When oil pressure will build, the lip will try to go this way, flip this way, and that's where it's going to stop. It doesn't have movement. But if you put it this way, the oil pressure will flip it this way and oil will leak. So remember, that's very important. That was my observation, as well as after thinking a lot, I did talk to my machinist and he confirmed the same thing. And there is another video, someone was trying to install the seal, and he also mentioned which way the seal lip or the like little flap will direct, in this direction, outside or inside the block. So mine is pointing inside, so there will be no give when there will be oil pressure. These are minor things to be noted and needs to be observed. Otherwise, this crankshaft installing is very simple. I'm going to put those two retaining bolts for the cam now, so I won't forget. All right, that's all for today, and I will move to installing the piston rods assembly in the next video. All right, bye.